Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Jo. This is their part number SLP-206 EBF BP short latch protector for outswinging doors, EBF Fasteners, 6-inch tall. Let's go over what this is. This is a relatively petite, meaning it's 6-inch tall and not the full-size 11 or 12-inch. Latch guard for an outswinging door, and this offset here is to account for the fact that the door is inset into the door. Large preparation to accommodate the rosette of a lever lock, let's say. The short SLP latch protector, SLP, short latch protector, 206. It's going to be a reference to the size, 6-inch overall height. The overall width, about 2 5/8. Over here in the door portion is where that 2 is going to come from, 2-inch. You've got that offset there that we mentioned, and that looks like it's about 3/8 of an inch. That's going to hang off the door a bit more than necessary. However, it's likely accounting for the fact that you've got a lip of a strike plate hanging off that you may need to modify. You're going to want the latch bolt to make contact with a curved lip, or at the very least, if you've got to cut the lip down to account for this latch protector, you're going to want to give that a beveled edge so when the latch bolt makes contact with the strike, it's not hitting so squarely that it can hit something that's beveled or somewhat radiused and then gracefully be pulled or pushed into the edge of the door is how that would work. The EBF is a reference to these fasteners that they have, and they're basically a set of sex bolts or binding posts. You've got the carriage bolts that'll be exposed on the outside. They'll go through the unit, and all you're going to be presented with on the outside is just the head of a carriage bolt. But then you've got these female part of the sex bolt assembly with an Allen wrench for tying on the inside. Give it a more graceful sort of look, certainly on the inside. There is a link below this video to the template. That is important because it will allow us to understand that the radius of this prep is basically 1 3/4 radius. So a little bit heavy on that. So a lock with a diameter of about 3 9/16, you're going to be able to use with this prep. You'll want to know what the diameter of your lock rose plate is before ordering this. This would be on the larger side. You may not need one so large, but that's what this is. That template will show all of the other dimensional properties of the item, specifically the location of these holes, should you need to know that. Also lists the fact that this item is .104 thick or 12 gauge, and that has finishes, they say 630, that's stainless steel. This is a brass plated steel. The caliper says that this is .107 thick, 106, so that's right on. Regarding the finishes, BP for brass plated, 630 for stainless steel. I'm pulling up the link below this video to what's called the product catalog that will allow us to review what those available finishes are from the manufacturer. SLP-206. SLP-206, that's available in BP for brass plated, which is the unit we have here. The CP for chrome plated, it'll be like a zinc color. DU for duro coated, and then also SL for silver coated. They do not list 630 stainless steel in this SLP-206, so only the plated or powder coated finishes over steel. Brass, chrome, silver, or duro, like a dark bronze color. Back to those fasteners, the EBF fasteners with that very thin head, that's specifically designed so that when the door closes and the head of that bolt's in the edge of the door, it's so thin that it ought not make any sort of interference, as the door will make contact with the stop if that bolt head is in the way there, and it's likely that it could be, depending on how far over you install that. If your stop is 5/8 of an inch projection, you might get into the way of that stop making or encroaching into the area of where the bolt head would be measured from the edge of the door over. So that's thin head of that bolt is a reason. Not only is it elegant looking, but it's there to not cause interference with the door and frame installation. Latch guards are Other latch guards are also listed in detail in that product catalog. There are a lot of them to review. The SLP 206, that's nice and common. Generally, the ones that you're going to see all the time are the far more common units that are going to be at the top of the product catalog. Actually, that's not correct. Closer to page 3G, your LP item in a 207 would be a common one. Then, of course, the full-length version of those that are closer to about 10-inch overall length are incredibly common as well. But you can appreciate, as you look at that catalog, the variety of what's there. And really, it's a question of compatibility between what you have in terms of lock prep and then the installation of that door and frame as they are installed together as a unit, and then what makes the most appropriate one. Selecting that is something we can obviously help you with. However, what you don't really have to select is the logic and the wisdom of actually having a latch guard, because they are certainly understood to be effective, and in such a way where locks keep honest people honest, but generally you'll find, and I've had first-hand case reports from clients that said there were 10 doors on the back of the building. The only one they didn't break into is the one that had the latch guard. Why? It's just not worth the time. It takes additional seconds to defeat one of these, and they're going to go on to the one that can be easily opened, not the one that's going to cause them to need to stand there to open the door. So that's where you're going to want to use a latch guard. In those instances where there's not a direct line of view, or it's an industrial area where there's no one there whatsoever at night, and there's no cameras, no emergency lights, meaning no motion-activated lights, you're going to want to put a latch guard in those areas. It's just going to help keep that door in a locked condition. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Donjo products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the Donjo number SLP-206-EBF in a BP finish or any other Donjo product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.